Hello, my beautiful family on YouTube. Welcome me back with praise and love. I loved and missed. Today, Halloween. Boo, scary. Clearly, I am dressed up as Captain Copter Daddy Bear. I have no idea what I am. I'm just a hodgepodge of hats. Can we talk about it? I had no idea that women who wear wigs, it's a hat. I'm sweating. I wanted to talk about Halloween. I want to talk about Halloween movies. I want to talk about my favorite Halloween movies. And just some random shit here and there. Let's take part. Alright, well, boo, motherfucker. It's Halloween on a Monday. How weird is this? Can we all collectively agree that Halloween on a Monday should be banned for eternity because the entire weekend was Halloween and now it just feels like a Groundhog's Day effect of Halloween? Doesn't it feel like you're walking around and the whole city or everybody at work is dealing with the walk of shame? You know, like the walk after a hookup the next morning. It's so weird. You're walking around like sluts are on the loose, but they're like, it's Halloween. I get to. I'm a teacher. Anyway, it's funny. But I spent this whole last weekend, and actually last week, because Halloween's my favorite of holiday. But I was spending it watching a lot of horror movies, my favorite genre. I want to write, produce, direct, and star in horror movies. I just think it's the best genre, you know? Okay, but anyway, watched them all. My favorite, I'm a kid of the 90s, so I grew up drowned in Kevin Williamson movies. He did all the Screams. He did I Know What You Did Last Summer. He did Urban Legends. He's a mastermind of writing the kind of horror movie I love. He was inspired by movies like Halloween, John Carpenter's movie, and everybody knows that movie. Hi, Laurie Strode. Shout out to Jamie Lee, who's now in Scream Queens. It all connects. But I just wanted to talk about those movies, the movies that I love, and they're mainly every Halloween I have to watch a handful. It always includes Hokey Pokey and sometimes Casper, okay? Only watching Casper because my favorite indie rock star actress is Christina Ricci, and we share a birth. IMDb it. But Hocus Pocus has to be watched at least once every Halloween. SJP, Bette Midler. I do think that Kathy and Jimmy should be Rosie O'Donnell. Flip it and reverse it. Okay, tell me you don't agree. Other than that, love the movie. It's perfect. Okay, but for the horror side, it's kind of hard to find movies that like are fun, right? And I there aren't any. There aren't any new good scary movies. I don't care what you bring. The last good horror movie, actually I like it when it's in my eyes. You like that? The last horror movie that I liked was Cabin in the Woods. And that, everybody who likes that, you didn't like it because of the horror, you liked it because of it brought back Scream, the feelings of Scream. And when Scream came out, that was the only movie that thrived out of that abyss of hell in 1996. You know what I mean? Like, horror movies in the 90s were awful. So Scream coming out and punning and making a joke out of all the things that horror movies have done wrong in the past. You know, Neve Campbell being like, it's always a big busty cheerleader running upstairs when she should be running outside. 30 seconds later she does that. I'm telling you, that was something. Kevin Williamson caught something. Who am I to say? Obviously he caught something. He made Dawson's Creek. That was like the biggest hit for white kids in suburbia ever. But yeah, he's that writer. Now he has Vampire Diaries. Never watched it a day in my life. I can't. But I love Kevin Williamson, and I think he's gay, so shout out, hey. But Urban Legends, he did that one. Joshua Jacks. He brought a lot of the Dawson's kids into, and actually I did think he wrote the screenplay for Halloween H2O. I looked up on IMDb. He actually didn't. That's a disappointment because I was like, oh, sweet, he worked with Michelle Williams, and I know he was looking to cast Jamie Lynn O'Keefe in a previous movie. I think it was I Know What You Did Last Summer, so I thought that he brought her in because... Anyway, I'm getting horror movie nerdy on you, but I really do have an obsession for horror movies. I think a lot of kids in my generation do. Maybe a lot of kids in general do. Don't mean to exclude. But this genre is so amazing, and now it's just turned into torture porn. I can't with the Saws and the Hostels, and now that those are done, it's going to be a new fucking genre of bullshit. I can't. I miss my slashers, you know? I grew up on Halloween. I grew up on Michael Myers. That was the coolest story in the whole world. I love all of them. Okay, I will rate, and there are bad ones, but I love all of them. Yes, I am including 3 Season of the Witch. I'm just saying there's a weird spot in my heart for this franchise. But I don't know if it's Jamie Lee Curtis or Donald Pleasance, gotta love that old man who played Mr. Loomis, or, the idea that Kevin Williamson always did a shout out to Halloween in his movies. There was something, there was just a spark about this movie. Popped it in when I was like 14, 15 years old, terrified of being home alone ever since. Okay, Michael Myers is real! That's terrifying. But the first one and the second one, obviously iconic. Although, if I had to rate, I would pick Halloween 1, and then I would go Halloween H2O. Don't fucking scream at me. Okay, Halloween 2 is not that engaging. Sorry about it. So now don't come at me with torches and brooms a-wielding, okay? I do not rank these movies in any order I've ever talked to any other fanboy. Maybe it's you. Maybe you're my first. But this is how I would rank them. I would go Halloween 1, because duh, classic. Halloween H2O, don't bring the torches, I just said. Then I would jump to Halloween 5. Get it, Danielle Harris. Killed it. Love that movie. Love it. I love Tina. Shout out, okay? Don't fuck with me. After Halloween 5, we go back to Halloween 2. Now I can take a little hospital time. Then we got Halloween 4. And then we got Resurrection. And the only reason that one's surviving is the cast is incredible. Tyra Banks, Busta Rhymes, fucking Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica. She's boss as fuck, okay? After that, Halloween 6, because what the fuck, Paul Rudd? Come on. And then after that, the remakes, because I do not like what Rob Zombie did with the story. And I don't like the people who get on his train and are like, he saved the whole franchise. And like, oh, he improved the mask. The mask would be so ruined over time. It's like, fuck you. When you watch horror movies, when you're invested this far into a franchise, you have a little give take. Can we talk about it? Of course, there are going to be things that have to be overlooked. Of course, you're going to have to expect your fandom to allow for inconsistencies. That's just going to happen in the field of genre. I don't care how meticulous you are with the script. Scream 4, introducing cell phones, they didn't do it right. I mean, come on, you have to allow for a little bit of catch-up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's my list. 1, H2O, 5, 2, 4, Resurrection, 6. That's how I'd rate them. I hope I didn't leave one out. 3! But 3's last. Season of the Witch, it doesn't even have him. Don't rent it. Not worth it. Watch a clip on YouTube. That's all you need. The story's obscene. Okay? But basically, a toy company creates masks, and if a kid puts it on, oh, hell. Like, it's really weird. Maybe you should rent it. No, Google, just YouTube, the last scene. The scene where the boy puts on the mask. Okay, now I'm just rambling. Anyway, I love those movies. I also love the Screams. If I ranked those, Scream 1, Scream 2, Scream 3, Scream 4, oh my god, that's fucking depressing. That's fucking depressing. The third Scream is so fucking depressing. The only savior of that is Parker Posey. And the really sad thing is, how did they make Scream 4 worse? But they did. And they got Kevin Williamson back to write it. Mind blown. He fucking sucked. But I have in the rumblings read around that the Weinsteins and Kevin Williamson don't always see eye to eye on a lot, and obviously the Weinstein brothers would have final say in what appears in the movie. I've heard that Kevin Williamson has been fired from a lot of projects, so maybe Kevin Williamson is still the genius I hold up in my mind. I like to think of him as my father. Let's cut that. But I love his talent for writing teenage drama. Like, he's just good at it. You know what I mean? He's really good at it. I think I even read somewhere that he wasn't even going to make I Know What You Did Last Summer or Scream into a horror movie or something, but he loved the witty banter or something, which makes total sense because Dawson's Creek, if you look at it, I mean, these kids are talking like they're 45, right? That was the running joke, like, what kids talk like this. But then when you think about it deeper, yeah, we all made fun of that. Hey, I'm losing my cappy. We all made fun of that for Dawson's Creek being so pretentious, and they have eyes. The hills have eyes. But he wasn't. He was shouting out respect to youth. He was saying the youth understands these words. They use these words. They get what adults are talking about. Let's give them more credit. And I appreciate him for that because he put that time stamp in there for media. Like, that's forever a television show that was written for kids that was smart. That's so genuinely needed. It's crazy. Anyway, my wig is getting all up in my eye. I'm not loving it. I don't know how girls do these. I mean, wigs are fabulous, don't get me wrong, but This cheap Kmart wig probably isn't the best, huh? Actually, it's from China. Anyway, how about the beard? Gone, right? Threw it in your face. It doesn't take me that long to grow facial hair. I'm probably going to get it back. It's weird. I had to let my skin breathe. Y'all, that was an itchy bitchy. Woo. I don't know how men get the crazies. And then another thing, if you eat with a beard that big, because my beard, it was pretty, I think it had been growing for like 2 or 3 weeks. It was that bushy after 2 or 3 weeks. My facial hair grows pretty quick. But I don't know how long it appeared. It was pretty long. When I shaved, it looked like your mom's chest hair, right? Shout out to Janice Ian. No, when I shaved, I had to because of the itchy. But also another weird thing that was happening, all food that I was eating at all times was in my facial hair. Like, how do men maintain? It was so gross. Like, you'd have something that doesn't even have sauce, but it's just juicy. That juice was all up in your grill. The only time I'd appreciate that is if I were straight and eating out a woman. I feel like the flavor saver right here, that's, you know, it's a notch in the belt. It's a little Medal of Honor. If that was too much for you, well, whatever. It's Halloween. Whatever. Anyway, I wanted to show off my little panda. This is what I was for Halloween. Look, it wasn't lazy just because every other bitch is doing theirs from, like, Target for 20 bucks. No, this was genuine fucking heritage. It cost me, like, 80 bucks a decade ago. No, it wasn't that long ago. It was like 5 years ago. I bought it a long time ago before these onesie motherfuckers were even in style, and now that they are, they're really chintzy. This is like I could wear it to climb Everest and I'd be warm. I'd sweat. It's weird. It's so warm. I love it. So I wore it out because I can be outside and I don't get cold. And then, you know, look at this wig. Oh, hey! And then the captain's hat, just because I was going to be a slutty Navy man. But then you have to wear pants. And who wants to do that? This, I can unzip a bitch. Ooh, and it goes down to my groin. Anyway, I'm a little too high to be talking to you on camera. So I'm going to get going. I want you to share below. Look at my beautiful, ambiance. Boop. I want you to share below, what were you for Halloween? The screaming baby is ruining my shot. What were you for Halloween? What are your favorite horror movies that you need to watch every year? Shout out, I still know what you did last summer. Shout out to finding out they were going to make a night. Will always know what you did last summer. Like literally a year later, that was like going to star Brandy Norwood. I need that to be made. Kevin Williamson, where art thou? Like, for real, get off Vampire Diaries and make me a Brandy Norwood. I want a reunion. Jennifer Love Hewitt has nothing going on besides giving HJs to massage clients. No. Okay, peace out, you all. Love you. Boo-boos, have good Halloween.